What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be bringing you a brand new reaction video. Today is something I've never done before. I've normally stuck to my sport reactions, and don't worry if you enjoy the sport content, I'll still be doing that daily. But I want to try something different, and this video intrigued me. It's the average American versus the average British person. Now, obviously being British myself, I'm quite intrigued because I wonder what avenue this is going to go down, because obviously there's definitely a few aspects in character, personality, which is definitely completely different. The language is the same, but obviously then you've got differences in the language, so there's definitely a lot of differences, and I don't really know what this is going to go down. So I know, because I've got a lot of American viewers, I thought I'd react to it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button guys. Let's try and hit 30 likes on this video. I'd be happy with 20 to be honest, because this is something completely out of my comfort zone and something new. So let's go for 20 actually. 20 likes, that'd make my day. And let's see what the difference is between Americans and British people.
Two of the closest allies in the world today are the United States of America and the United Kingdom of Great Britain, with both countries considering their bilateral partnership to be the strongest of bonds. The British-American bloodline runs deep, with millions of Americans identifying themselves as having either English, Scottish, Welsh, or Scotch-Irish ancestry. Given these,
which makes sense because of the whole history. I'm not going to do a history lesson, but it makes sense.
We thought it would be fun to compare these two powerful nations in this episode of the infographic show, The Average American versus the Average Brit. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so that you can be part of our notifications.
Same for you guys, subscribe, hit that bell button and turn on your notifications guys. So I've actually got this new graphic on my thing. It tells me who's subscribing notifications, so hit that. Well, it doesn't tell me who, it tells me how many of you guys are on. There's quite a few of you. I really appreciate that. So if you haven't got it, hit that bell and it'll give you push notifications whenever I upload. But you have to actually turn on your notifications on your iPad, your phone, whatever, just so YouTube can actually send it. There's no point clicking the bell, and if you don't have push notifications on, it doesn't come through.
Squad. First of all, we should explain what the United Kingdom of Great Britain is, as it's often an area of confusion. When we talk about the UK, we are referring to the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, which is a sovereign state consisting of 4 countries: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. The average Brit we are discussing today is someone from the UK.
Yeah, that makes sense from the UK. Britain includes like the Channel Islands and places like that, but for the UK, just them 4 places, pretty accurate.
In terms of ancestral relations, according to a Census Bureau American Community Survey, nearly 27 million people identified as being part English, over 5.5 million said Scottish, about 5 million said Scotch-Irish, and nearly 2 million said Welsh.
I know, see, America's an absolutely huge place, so that's still a ridiculous amount of people still believe they have ties to the UK, which is quite mad.
Irish and German Americans make up larger portions of the US public, it's thought there are...
I don't really know why that is. I imagine there's some history there. Let me know in the comments, guys, why that is. More Germans and Irish over there. No, I personally, I don't know. I imagine there's something obvious, but I'm missing. It's just back of my brain, completely missed. But let me know, guys.
A lot more Americans that have Brit blood flowing through their veins, but no longer consider themselves being anything other than a full-blooded American. With this in mind, we'll start with some comparisons of a physical nature. The average Brit stands just a fraction taller than the average American, with the BBC lately reporting that the average man in the UK is now 5 feet 10 inches, and the average woman is 5 feet 5 inches. American men average 5 feet 9.5 inches, and American women 5 feet 3.5 inches.
You're all midgets, guys. That's actually quite surprising to me. That's a joke, by the way. But you obviously have a lot of basketball players. I know we have basketball as well, but you have the NBA, which is obviously a much higher competition. You're the best at basketball in the world. A lot of tall sports you guys do. It's very, to me, it's quite surprising that on average you actually have a low one. I'd assume you'd have a higher one, to be honest with you, just because you get them builds who play all these sports. I know you get a lot of foreigners who come to your leagues to play it, but that's very surprising to me, to be honest. I thought you guys would be tall for sure.
Both countries are considered to be not so well proportioned when compared to other more developed nations, with a new report from the Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation stating that the USA is in 18th place on the world's most obese nations list. Only Egypt was the other populous nation in the top 20 countries, which was filled mostly by countries in the South Pacific. The UK, however, might also need to get in shape, with reports stating that obesity is a national tragedy, and that by 2025 the UK will be the fattest country in Europe. According to the Centers...
We need to sort out both of us, to be honest with you. I understand the Americans, they've got the supersized McDonald's, which is absolutely buzzing, by the way. I've been to America once and I had a supersized, loved that. Definitely a weight problem over there, and definitely a growing weight problem in the UK, 100%. There's no two ways about it. With the whole age of people being indoors, which there's nothing wrong with that, all playing games, a lot more people are not doing fitness, which is so detrimental to your mental health and stuff like that. So it's not only a looking thing, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what you look like. It's mainly the health for the obesity, which is an issue. So yeah, we both definitely have a part to play in that
For Disease
to change
Control and
it.
Prevention's latest report, the average American male is now 195.7 pounds, and the average woman is 168.5 pounds. The average British man is 186.2 pounds, and the average woman is 154 pounds.
Yeah, that's quite interesting because obviously I'm not exactly. It doesn't even take obesity completely, because obviously you've got a lot of gym goers who will be higher up, not obese, very fit, mentally healthy and stuff like that as well. You also have the people like me. I think I weigh roughly around 66 kg or something like that. I'm 21. I'm just very skinny. I don't have much muscle on me. So again, I'm not exactly fit though, because I haven't gone for a run in ages. Since lockdown, I haven't been to the gym. I haven't been doing my daily runs or anything like that. So I'm definitely not fit. I'm not obese, but I'm not fit. So you've got the scales, and to come to an average of 84, to me that seems quite heavy, but that's just going off my own body. So I don't know, what is the actual average? I don't actually know what an average weight is, to be honest with you. 84 seems quite heavy to me. Let me know, guys. And 88 obviously a lot more heavy. It's only 4 kg, but it definitely makes a difference.
Does the fact both countries are perhaps on the heavy side influence life expectancy? American men on average will live to 77.11 years, and American women 81.94. Citizens of the United Kingdom can expect to clock out at a similar age on average, with male life expectancy standing at 79.1 and female life expectancy 82.8. The median
Grand scheme of things, not really too much. If you go off weight, the weight's definitely a bigger distance than the life expectancy, 100%. I don't really say that's a big difference, to be honest.
Age, meaning half the country is older and half the country younger, is 37.8 in the USA for men and women, and right on 40 in the UK. Which country is making more babies at the moment? Current statistics state that the US and UK are similar here, with births per woman in America averaging 1.84 and in the UK 1.9. Marriage rates have decreased in many developed nations over the last few decades.
A lot of these, again, the weird stats, obviously we're getting the height and stuff like that. I don't think that really has too much to do with where you're from. Obviously it does a little bit, and your families and stuff like that. But your births is actually getting into more of a cultural thing now. What you do, your ages and stuff like that. So we're definitely getting into the more comparable stuff, I think.
According to the CDC, in 2015, 6.8 people per 1,000 of the total population tied the knot in the USA, while in the UK, that number was 4.5.
Oh, we're more stubborn in the UK.
Around 42% of UK marriages end in divorce, with almost half of US marriages ending the same way.
That makes sense. More people getting married, more people are going to get divorced. I think that just sums up as well a little bit of a difference between the Brits and America. We're definitely a lot more stubborn, I'd say. I mean, I haven't met too many Americans, so I could be completely wrong. You guys could be very stubborn people. But from my experience, I'd say Britain's definitely more stubborn. Which is why potentially marriage rate is lower, because you wait a lot longer to get married.
On that sobering note, we'll take a look at money matters. In terms of industry, both nations are considered champions of the world, but according to the United Nations Economic Commission for Europe,
United
USA
champions of the
citizen
world
grosses a higher salary than the average UK person. The average gross salary in the USA was the 5th highest in the world at $4,893 per month,
not too bad.
while the UK sat in 14th place on the list with an average of $3,461.
Okay, this is where we get into like the first big difference. Now, again, it's all with a bit more information. I imagine we're going to go into it. I don't know if I do. But everything's going to cost a lot more in the US. You go over there, and what you'd normally pay, I don't know, you'd go to the shop and buy some Pringles in pounds. It's going to cost a lot more in dollars than what it would for you in the UK, if that makes sense. So I can see definitely why there's a wage difference, because sports packages, think about sports packages, right? If I want to watch my local team, it's 20 quid. I know it's Rotherham, we're in the Championship, we're not in the creme de la creme, it's more expensive up there. But when I went to New York, I went to watch the ice hockey and the basketball, it was over $100 a ticket. That's absolutely mental, just for normal seats. Obviously, it's the creme de la creme, but that's still a lot of money, so I can definitely see why your wage is a lot higher.
In terms of cost of living, Americans might need the few extra dollars, with one report putting the USA in 18th place in the world on a cost of living index, and the UK in 29th place.
Definitely
we
cheaper.
must also note that cost of living and wages can change dramatically from city to city. If we take a look at the economics Big Mac Index, we find that the cost of a Big Mac in the US is $5.06, while the Brits only pay $3.73.
Same, Pringles, Big Mac, perfect example. Look at the difference there. Mad. For the exact same item, which is why you guys get paid more, I guess, so it evens out.
At the same time, the index shows someone in London has to work on average 1 minute longer than someone in New York to buy the same burger. At the high end of the earning
maybe that throws that completely out the window. We're having to work harder for less, but we're paying less for something. But we're still having to work harder. So in theory, who's actually winning there? Maybe the Americans are winning. If we're having to work more for the same thing, even though it's cheaper, because we're getting paid less. So I said all that stuff before, but it turns out the Americans are winning on that front.
Scale, the U.S. is home to the richest man on the planet, Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates.
Everyone knows that.
Amounts to around $87 billion. The richest person in the UK is actually listed as two brothers who are part of the Hinduja family. Their net worth is around $16.9 billion.
Personally, never heard of them.
In total, there are 134 billionaires based in the UK, according to the Sunday Times, while the USA has the most billionaires in the world at 565.
That makes sense. Again, if you look at the two countries for size comparison, you can't compare it, can you, really? So obviously it's going to be 5 times more. Well, it's not 5 times, a bit less than 5 times, but around that, more billionaires. It just makes sense. It's just a bigger place.
What do Americans and Brits get for all their hard work? Well, the Brits don't work as hard, according to one study that divided the total
like to be
number
lazy,
of
to be
hours
honest.
actually worked by the
That
average
doesn't
number
surprise
of people
me.
in employment per year. The USA was 16th on the list at 34.40 hours per week, and the UK was 24th on the list at 32.25
quite a big gap as well, a couple hours on average, that's quite
big. The
big.
Brits also get more time off, with workers by law given 5.6 weeks of paid vacation time per year. In the US, there is no such law, and paid time off is an agreement made between the employer and the employee.
Wow, I did not know that. So I imagine there's some people watching this potentially who get absolutely hardly any paid vacation or even none. And if they want to go away, they've got to just not sack the job off, but not get paid for the 2 weeks. That's absolutely mental. We've definitely got it good on that sense. And we work less as well, so we work less and we get a bit of a paid vacation.
The average paid days off in the US is said to be about 10 days, with that number increasing with the number of years in a certain job. The UK has less public holidays though, at 8 days, with the US enjoying 10 national public holidays.
That's right, you guys can have the public holidays.
But they also seem to be getting more for their buck. While the British public have been dealing with drastically increasing property prices, they also live in very small
100%.
abodes. Studies have found that Britain's houses on average are some of the smallest in Europe at around 818 square feet. American citizens on average can enjoy much larger living areas, with the average house size being around 2,160
wow.
square feet.
Well, that's mental. Let's just get them numbers back up, can I?
America is being around 2,000.
That's a big difference. That's going from just over a 2-bed flat potentially to a proper house size. That's mental. Again, maybe it comes down to, I don't know, let me go in the comments, guys, if you know a bit more about this, but maybe it comes down to just the sheer size of America. You make the bigger places, it doesn't cost as much to pay for it, because you're not exactly struggling for room, are you? Compared to the UK, at least. We're a lot smaller, still got quite a lot of people to fit in. I know it's all proportionate, but maybe that is why. If not, let me know the reason if you guys know. I'd be interested to know about why it's such a big difference.
1,160 square feet. The US also has more in terms of vehicle ownership. America is third on the list of number of vehicles owned per 1,000 people at 797, excluding motorcycles and anything else on 2 wheels. The UK lies in 34th place on the same list with 519 vehicles.
That doesn't surprise me too much, to be honest. I'm sorry if I'm pausing, guys, but I wanted to take in every stat and kind of break it down if it surprised me or anything. But I can understand that, because I feel like Britain have quite a good, I don't know in the US, but we have quite a good bus service and stuff like trains. I imagine it's a lot harder to get around. Like, let's say you've got a friend in, I don't really know, two states in America, let's say. You want to visit them. A train journey, you probably don't want to be on the train for that long. A lot longer than a UK one would be. In the UK, you can hop on a train a couple hours and you're almost at the opposite side of the country. Obviously not a couple hours, but it's probably taking about 5 hours on a train or something like that. You've got to stop off. But depending on where you are, it's a lot easier to get to different places in the UK using public transport than what I imagine it will be in America. So that makes sense to me, 100%. Quite a big difference, but it makes sense.
Vehicles per 1,000 people. Rising property prices, expensive cars. What does this mean in terms of borrowing money? Household debt statistics, which is measured by all money owed to financial institutions, whether it be for a house or a BMW, has both the UK and the US in the top 10 countries of the world. For 2016, the UK was in 6th place on the household debt list, and the US not far behind in 7th place.
Close.
UK citizens looking for a
We
higher
both like using
education
our credit
and a good
cards.
start in life might also have to take on a lot of debt before they actually embark on a career.
A lot of debt.
While much of Europe enjoys a free ride or low-cost higher education, England is now said to be the most expensive place in the world to get a college degree. The latest reports state UK nationals attending an English university can expect annual tuition to be $11,715 compared to the $9,410 Americans pay on average.
it's still absolutely mental for both. That's just so depressing. Just to get a degree, to be able to go into your career as a certified professional, it costs so much money before you've even started. Absolutely mental. I can't really touch upon that too much. It is mental, the fees, to be honest with you.
Per year. On average, the class of 2016 in the USA owed around $37,172 in loans, while students graduating from a university in England could expect to owe as much as something in the region of $40,000 to $55,000.
Mental.
Scotland,
Absolutely
Wales,
mental.
and Northern Ireland all have cheaper university tuition fees, or no tuition fee for Scottish people studying in Scotland. Students
Fair
may still
play
have
to
to
Scotland.
borrow to
Shout out
study,
them.
though, with a recent report by the Student Loans Company stating the average student debt in Northern Ireland and Scotland was around $26,000 and $15,000 respectively. The Welsh have part of their tuition fees
It's still quite a lot of money, but at least it's a lot better than England. Like, we're absolutely shocking
paid
for
for by
that.
the Welsh government, but students still rack up debts on average of around $24,000.
Quite a
UK
bit.
citizens may take some comfort in matters of healthcare, with most costs covered by Britain's National Health Service. Americans are not so
NHS,
fortunate, with an
praise them,
article
doing
in
a
The
great job
Atlantic
right
this
now
year
with
stating
COVID.
that more than a quarter of Americans said that someone in their household was struggling to pay off crushing medical debts. With that, we come to the end of today's show.
Video's basically ended, but just talking about your healthcare, I don't want to get too in depth. I don't know too much about it, but that is mental. Like, obviously we have the NHS, money goes towards it, and it's a lot easier and a lot more secure for us. For you guys, let me know in the comments. I don't know too much about it, but isn't it like if you don't have your own private health, you go when you got to pay thousands every time you want just a small thing done, and it potentially can cost you hundreds of thousands, which is mad. And I've always been a case of whenever I've been there, it's like, don't get injured, don't get injured. Obviously you've got your holiday insurance, but it's just a nightmare. I can imagine having to pay all that much money. It's like every time you're away there, it's like, alright, try and avoid any injury because you don't want to risk it. But that has been the video. I don't think there's too many differences, to be honest. From what we saw, there were slight differences in some aspects, but from what we compared, not too different. And to be honest, what was different I kind of expected. There wasn't too much that surprised me. Let me know if it surprised you at all, guys, in the comments. If you want me to do more of this stuff, I'll happily react to more of this stuff. Let me know in the comments, guys. Let's try and hit 20 likes on this video. Subscribe if you're new, and have a great day. Peace.